Denver police are now tracking the number of people who are drugged against their will in the city. It's a first for the department after a number of survivors came forward last year.
9 News reporter Rachel Krause spoke with advocates who were grateful for the tool, but surprised it took this long.
You know, if this has happened to you, this is not your fault. It is the fault of the person who chose to do it, and it is never too late to ask for help.
At the Blue Bench, Ana Martinez and her staff work to help survivors of sexual assault. She says in the past year, they've seen more people who've been drugged coming in for help, and the suspects aren't always strangers.
We're seeing a lot more cases that involve people that they met on dating apps. That's a theme that we're definitely seeing more in the past year.
Denver police started tracking instances where people were drugged last year in January.
It's surprising that it wasn't happening before, to be honest.
DPD says they started tracking these cases because a number of drugging incidents were reported in a short amount of time. Data from last year shows 46 cases of drugging were reported to police. So far this year, police have taken 5 reports of drugging. DPD says they've only made 1 arrest. Martinez says these cases can be tricky to track. Survivors' memory are often hazy, and even more often, society blames them for not taking better care of themselves or their drink, discouraging people from coming forward. And for those who do report or go in for testing, the exam might not always catch the substance they're given.
We know that on average, only 10% of survivors come forward with cases, report them to the police. So we know that this is a tiny percentage of what's being seen more broadly.
Still, Martinez says it's critical that we support these survivors who come forward and track their cases. She says when they know they're not alone, they're more likely to come forward, either to seek help or hopefully justice.
Perhaps if the folks that are doing this are seeing that it's being tracked and looked at, preventing any further cases from happening because they know that there could be charges coming down their way.
Now, if you're going out to the bar or going out on a date with someone new, the Blue Bench recommends keeping an eye on your drink. And if you feel off, immediately try and go get help. Now, here in Denver, a number of bars and breweries all around town have staff who are actually trained to help in case someone tries to hurt you. It's called the Safe Bars Program. We'll have all that info, including where you can go, on this story at 9news.com.
All right, Rachel Krause, thank you.
Let's get you a live look at downtown Denver tonight. After a wild weekend of cold and snowy weather, things have certainly calmed down. I mean, this bounce back, Kathy, has been really fun to see. It's like warm today.
I know, it's nice, right? If it's going to be a Monday, it's nice. The sun comes out, temperatures warm up, easy travel into Denver and into the high country. But it will be short-lived. Already we're tracking the next storm system that's headed toward western Colorado. Temperatures today in the mid-40s. We've come down about 10 degrees to 36 outside the studios. Clouds increasing from a storm that will approach Colorado tomorrow, coming into the region in pieces. The first wave will bring heavy mountain snow, starting to see the leading edge bringing snow to the northwest plateau as we speak. But it's tomorrow when these advisories go out for heavy snow. Winter storm warnings out for the northwest, southwest, and eastern San Juan mountains with 2 to 3 feet of snow expected. This system will bring a few rain showers to Denver midweek, but when the whole system rolls through by the weekend, that's when we've got a chance at seeing some accumulating snow. Tonight will be dry. The drive for tomorrow morning, no issues at all. Coming up in Maine weather, we're going to cover the timing of this impending storm and how much snow you can expect this time.
The guy who filmed himself going more than 150 miles per hour on I-25 was not caught that day in September. Video went up on an anonymous YouTube account and went viral. Court documents show that police actually used security camera footage from a store and cell phone data to find the guy.
Jeremy Hohola reports on the case against Rendon Dietzman, the man from Texas who remains wanted here in Colorado.
Darting between cars at more than 170 miles per hour, the YouTuber bragged he traveled between Colorado Springs and Denver in 20 minutes. Colorado State Patrol identified the motorcyclist as 32-year-old Brendan Dietzman of Texas. He's now wanted in Colorado for menacing and reckless endangerment. 9 News obtained court documents that describe how police found a convenience store Dietzman visited just before recording this video in September. Those documents describe the store's security video, where Dietzman is seen on his motorcycle and removing his helmet to enter the store and buy an energy drink. Investigators then compared that security video to a prior traffic stop in Texas in 2022. According to the report, the traffic stop video clearly showed Mr. Dietzman as the same person in the Exxon gas station video. Investigators also got a search warrant for cell phone data showing Dietzman's phone was active on the cell phone towers from Colorado Springs to Denver on the day this video was recorded. His warrant remains active in Colorado. Jeremy Hohola, 9 News.
Despite the active warrant, it's unlikely Dietzman will actually be prosecuted. Colorado State Patrol told us in order for him to be arrested, he would have to come back to Colorado and encounter police or, just come turn himself in. Police in Boulder are sharing some new video tonight, trying to track down a driver who ran a red light, crashed into another car, and took off. It happened just after 12:30 a.m. Saturday at Arapahoe and 28th Street. Police say that car on the left side of your screen sat at an intersection through 7 red lights with several cars going around it. Then suddenly, the driver of that car just ran the red, narrowly missing other cars before swerving into oncoming traffic and crashing head-on to an SUV. Police say, fortunately, nobody was hurt. They are hoping, though, somebody saw where the driver went next, and they can help investigators track him down.
Trial begins tomorrow for a former Greenwood Village police officer accused of killing a teenager. Investigators say Adam Holland shot and killed 17-year-old Peyton Blitzstein outside a home in southeast Aurora the day before Thanksgiving of 2021. Police think that Holland followed the teenager's car and confronted him about his driving. An affidavit says the former officer took out a gun, and then Blitzstein, teenager, shot at him. Holland fired back, killing the teenager. Documents show that Holland was drunk at the time. He's charged with second-degree murder. Jury selection begins tomorrow. More than 3 years after this video of Aurora officers holding a woman and several young girls at gunpoint got national attention, the city's going to pay that family nearly $2 million. Happened during the summer of 2020 as Aurora police faced months of protests over the killing of Elijah McClain. The officers involved in that stop kept their jobs, in part because prosecutors found they were following their training.
There's kids. They had guns on kids.
Officers stopped the family thinking that they were in a stolen car. Their vehicle was not stolen. Police had gotten mixed up looking for a stolen motorcycle. Prosecutors asked APD to review policies so this would not happen again. The city will pay $1.9 million to settle the family's lawsuit.
Colorado's only oil refinery is breaking records for the biggest state penalty over repeatedly spewing dangerous chemicals into the air. The record was also set originally by Suncor. 9 News reporter Brianna Clark is live outside Suncor tonight. Brianna, the refinery has been ordered to pay at least $10.5 million.
It's an unprecedented fine, and while it might sound like a lot of money, to Suncor, it's only about 15 hours worth of profit. The state health department is making Suncor pay $2.5 million in fines and spend $8 million more on safety upgrades to the refinery in Commerce City. This is because of repeated air quality violations from July 2019 through June 2021. Suncor is accused of spewing out more asthma-causing chemicals than state rules allow. The refinery will also have to double the number of air quality monitoring devices along the edge of its facility. The state has hit Suncor with big penalties before, but they keep polluting. Leaders with the state health department told us today that making the refinery spend money on improvements will pay off.
We do see that when those dollars are targeted at specific equipment, we have found improvements.
There's another penalty in the pipeline. An advisory from state regulators says more consequences are coming for air quality rule breaking from July 2021 through June 2022. And Commerce City says that Suncor spent 802 hours out of compliance with air quality rules last year. That is 33 days.
Yeah, this still just feels like rinse and repeat. You get a slap on the wrist, a fine, more monitoring, and then repeat, more pollution. It just keeps going on and on. All right, Brianna, thank you.
Keeping your old landline phone could get a lot more expensive. Phone companies are trying to get rid of copper wire-based landline systems. So people who want to keep their landlines are likely to face higher bills because of complicated workarounds put in place by the phone companies. Those companies say the alternatives may not be as reliable as the old system. Researchers who study phone access say the change is going to impact seniors, small businesses the most. It'll change more than just phones. Some alarm systems and emergency call boxes and elevators will also need overhauls. AT&T is asking regulators in California for permission to stop serving traditional landlines.